Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about the next essential process, that is transportation or circulation. What is transportation or what is circulation? The movement of substances throughout the body. It's called as transportation. Something is transported or circulated through the body. So we are going to study about first transportation in plants. What are the things or substances that are transported in plants? So we know that carbon dioxide, oxygen, water, minerals, hormones, plant hormones, then food particles. These are all the things that are transported through the plant body. How this transportation takes place in plant body. We are going to study about that. So we know that carbon dioxide, oxygen and all is transported during the process of photosynthesis. For the preparation of food, it needs oxygen, carbon dioxide, oxygen is released during the time of respiration and all. Now, how water and minerals and food particles are transported. We are going to study about that. Okay, so first one, transportation of water and minerals. So we know that there are conducting tissues for the transportation of these substances like water, minerals and food substances. We studied in our smaller 9th standard class. That is, you know that xylem and phloem. Xylem as well as phloem. These are the two conducting tissues, right? Xylem and phloem. They conduct what? Water. Xylem conducts water and dissolved minerals. Phloem conducts or transports food materials. So how this is happening in plant body? That we are going to discuss in detail. The first one is transportation of water and minerals. First we can study how water and minerals get transported. Okay. How is transportation of water as well as minerals that is taking place in plant body? That we are going to study. Okay. So in case of plants, we know that the roots absorb water and the dissolved minerals through root hairs, and that water is known as xylem sap. Sap it is, which is called as xylem sap. That is directly through xylem, through the roots it enters, and xylem conducts water and dissolved minerals. So this is a one way. Xylem sap. The water and dissolved mineral is called as xylem sap. Sap meaning this water in which minerals are dissolved. So normally roots absorb this water and through that it is transported through xylem tissues. This is a common thing that we know. Right? Now, and this method, it's known as ascent of sap. What is that? Ascent. Ascent of sap meaning this xylem sap is what? Taken or transported to all parts of the body, which is called as ascent of sap. Other than this is a common thing that we know, that is plants from the soil it absorbs water and dissolved minerals. Other than this, two theories are there that explains how is transportation happening in case of plants. The first theory, it's known as root pressure theory. What is that? Root pressure theory. What is root pressure theory? Then the second one is transpiration pull. Root pressure theory and transpiration pull. What is root pressure theory? Root pressure theory meaning the first one. Root hairs, same thing as that of ascent of sap, similar to that only. Root hairs absorb this water. What will happen by diffusion? It enters. Okay. So when it is in the case of water minerals, water in which dissolved minerals are there, it becomes osmosis. So, by the process, it absorbs, and what will happen? If water enters, there is a pressure difference inside the root, right? And this pressure difference transports this water through the xylem. Okay, so there is a pressure difference. So, according to root pressure theory, root hairs absorbs water from the soil, and what will happen? Because of the pressure difference, movement of these water particles or water molecules takes place through the xylem tubes. That is simple root pressure theory. Okay, simply root is what? Absorbing, and it makes a pressure difference, and by that transportation of water takes place to all parts. In case of transpirational pull or transpiration pull, what is this? We know that transpiration is evaporation through the leaf surface. This is taking place in plant body. Okay, so root pressure theory is applicable only to small herbaceous plant. If it is a big tree, this is not possible. By simply pressure difference cannot transport these water throughout the big tree. It cannot reach every part of the plant, right? So this is applicable, that is root pressure theory is applicable in case of only herbaceous plants. Case of transpiration pull. What is transpiration pull? We know that the excess water is expelled out through stomata by means of transpiration. We know that what is transpiration? Transpiration is evaporation through the leaf surface, right? In the vapor form, water is pulled out or is escaped out through the stomata. So at the same time, when this transpiration is taking place, a suction or a pull is created inside the xylem vessels that takes water and transport it to the complete body. Once again, I will repeat. At the time of transpiration, that is at the time when the plant is losing water through its stomata, a pull or a suction, a pressure difference is created inside the xylem vessel which pulls water from the soil to plant body, and by the same pressure this water is transported to complete tree. Whether it's a big tree, it is transported like this. This is called as transpiration pull. So these are the two theories by which water and minerals are transported throughout the plant body. Once again, I will repeat, root pressure theory means in case of herbaceous plants, root hairs absorb water and a concentration difference or a pressure difference arises inside the xylem vessels that transports what all things are absorbed, that is water is absorbed and is passed to every part of the plant body. In case of transpiration pull, this is a theory in which during transpiration, a suction or a pull is created inside the xylem vessels which takes water from the soil and is transported to all parts of the plant, which is called as transpiration pull. These are the two theories by which transportation in plants takes place. What? Transportation of what? Water and dissolved minerals. Okay, so I told you root pressure theory, transpiration pull, as well as this is same as that of ascent of sap. Sap meaning or xylem sap meaning it is the water in which minerals are dissolved, which is transported to all parts, which is called as ascent of sap. So root pressure theory is created during a pressure difference when the root hairs are absorbing the water. Transpiration pull meaning a pull or a suction which is created during the time of transpiration, and this allows the water to move in through the xylem vessels from the soil to the xylem vessels. Okay, hope this is clear to you all. Moving on to the next one, food particles. How transportation of food particles takes place. We know that food is transported by the major conducting tissue, phloem. So transportation of food, how this is possible. Food that is produced only in leaves, right? We know that plants produce food in the leaves, in their leaves. And it is by the process of photosynthesis. Now this food has to reach where? Every part. How this is possible? So it is a phloem that is transporting food material. This is a phloem which is a conducting tissue that transports food particles. What will happen? The food particle which is, or the food item that is produced in the form of glucose is transported to different part by the expenditure of ATP. ATP is the energy. Okay. So by energy utilization, the food is transported from the leaf to all parts of the plant. In which form? In a liquid form. So it is in the fluid or the liquid form, food is transported. Okay, same thing happens, but by osmosis, a pressure difference is created inside the phloem tubes, and this phloem, because of this pressure difference, by the expenditure of energy, utilization of energy, food is transported from one region to the next region. And it reaches every part. There is a name for this process which is called as translocation. See, it is translocation. What is trans? Trans means changing. Location is change. That means from the leaf, the food is transported to the complete plant body. And that process is known as translocation. Once again, I will say food. Transportation of food takes place through the phloem. What is happening? Phloem tissues, when it is having food item, it is transported in the form of a liquid or fluid part, fluid portion. What will happen? A pressure difference is created, and with the utilization of energy, this phloem tubes transports this food items to various parts, various regions of the plant body, and that process is known as translocation. Okay, so these are the ways by which a plant is transporting substances. So the same way these plants can transport plant hormones also. The same way, translocation, plant hormones, again pressure difference will be there, and by that transportation of plant hormones also takes place. So these are the ways by which transportation of water and minerals and food items takes place in plant body. Once again, transportation of water and minerals by root pressure theory and transpiration pull. According to root pressure theory, what is happening? Root hairs are absorbing water and dissolved minerals, and by this pressure difference, this is transported through xylem vessels. And here, this is possible only in herbaceous plants, smaller plants. In case of bigger plants, that is not possible, trees. Their transpiration pull. What is transpiration pull? During the time of process of transpiration, a suction or a pull is created inside the xylem vessels that transports water to all parts. Food is transported by phloem with the expenditure of energy. That's why I wrote ATP, adenosine triphosphate, in the form of liquid by the process of osmosis. And that process is known as translocation. Translocation means food is transported from leaf to other parts. Okay, so this is a simple way by means of which transportation of water as well as food items takes place in plants. Okay, that's all for today's class. Thank you.